Happy Friday, everybody. It is the final Friday of 2022, and welcome to the Week 17 edition of the Fantasy Q&A Show. I am Marcus Grant. He is Michael F. Florio. Over there, they're the specialists, the cast of dozens that I was put on this show each and every day, each and every week. This is it. Championship week has already begun. I know you've got a couple matchups. I've got a matchup. I don't know. Have you checked? How are you doing right now in your matchups?
We had one between the two of us. I had the only player that played in last night's game, and it's one of the two players we picked to talk about. So I'm feeling good about that. It was CeeDee Lamb.
All right. Well, I have a matchup where I went against Dak Prescott and Michael Gallup, and they put out 24 points combined. Not great, so I feel okay.
Yeah,
I feel okay
like
right now.
That broke in your favor.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the weekend. But I know this show is about all of you out there. It is dedicated to giving you what you want and answering your questions. You can always hit us up on Twitter at NFL Fantasy. We answer what we can here. The rest of them go over to Aaron Tan because he still hasn't eaten peas. Dude, the year's almost over, man. You're running out of time in 2022.
This is our last. Oh no, we got Sunday.
This
is our last chance to shame him into eating vegetables.
It is. It really is. We only have one more
Parker's
chance to shame him
crying
to eat.
already.
It's been a whole thing. It's gotten very emotional here in the Fantasy Lounge. So, one more again. You got Q's, we got A's, LFG. Let's start with last night's TNF game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans. It was sloppy at times, but the Cowboys pull out a 27-13 win. Dak Prescott, just over 14 fantasy points there. CeeDee Lamb, 11 catches for 100 yards even. That's 21 fantasy points. Dalton Schultz got you 24.6 on the other side. Really, there were no Titans that you were probably starting, but just in case, Joshua Dobbs, the surprise starter, got 10.5. Treylon Burks with 12.6, and Robert Woods, Bobby Trees with just under 15 points there. But you mentioned that you started CeeDee Lamb last night in your championship matchup, and I know you were saying that, it was a good night, 21 points. I know you felt like maybe you wanted a little bit more, but still, not a bad night for CD.
Yeah, my league, unfortunately, is a half PPR, so he finished with like 15 and a half. And I'm like, come on, these 10 catches should be worth more. 11 catches should be worth a little bit more. But what I especially love is the Cowboys were thinking about fantasy players yesterday. He had 10 catches for 99 yards, and they were like, you know what? We know fantasy players get a bonus for 100, and they threw him one more catch for 1 yard to put him in triple digits last night. But this is what CeeDee Lamb's been doing lately. Like, yeah, I would have loved a touchdown. There was one play, too, where it was even Dalton Schultz was like, it was designed for CD. I was lucky that Dak threw to me. But, like, if he gets that touchdown, we're talking about him potentially winning people's leagues this week for them. He didn't – I don't think he did enough to be like, oh, my God, he won you your week. But he did – plenty, and he did not ruin it. So that's all we want.
He did not ruin your week. I think that's the important part. So if you started him on Thursday night, you're at least off to a decent start. You can feel good about what you have going into the weekend. Same where if you started Dalton Schultz. And I know it had been hard to start Dalton Schultz. It was one of those things where you really just kept having to pound process over results because the process said to start him because he was on the field a ton. He was running a lot of routes. He was getting a decent target share. Could have been better. And finally, he put up the game that we had been expecting. He got a couple of touchdowns, got you over 20 points. This is what we felt like Dalton Schultz could sort of be. Maybe not to this extreme, but that he could be a consistent tight end, and it just hadn't happened. So finally, he came through for you. So if you stuck with him and you started Dalton Schultz this week, you felt good. Maybe this carries over into next year. I know we got a lot to do before next year starts, but maybe this carries over for next year for him.
Schultz is like, I know, like you said, the floor's been a little bit lower than we wanted, but his ceiling with Dak Prescott is higher than almost any other tight ends outside of your, like, the
super elite guys.
So, I mean, and what I love, I know it's week 17. We can't say, like, hopefully this continues, but maybe next year they just locked in on CD and Schultz, and, like, that's how I feel like this passing attack should be.
It really should be those two guys. And then we saw everything else sort of spread around between Michael Gallup, Noah Brown, T.Y. Hilton getting some work.
Okay. Look, the announcers do a great job. They were like, man, he has helped CeeDee Lamb more than anyone. He's showing him what a veteran receiver's like.
He's been there 2 weeks.
I'm like, he's been there 2 weeks, and CeeDee Lamb had, like, Randall Cobb and Amari Cooper for years. Like, he's good. He knows what he's doing.
He's okay there. We appreciate your insight, Kirk Herbstreit. Let's get to some of your fan questions that you send us on the Twitter machine. This one from KB, who says, I have Hurts and Brady. Do I start Brady or pick up Minshew or Jones? Daniel Jones, presumably. Both are available. Not sure I can trust Brady after having negative 1.26 late in the fourth last week. This is for back-to-back championships.
Usually when it comes to winning championships, Tom Brady is your guy. But
Yeah.
this week, no, I would not go with Tom Brady. I would pick up Daniel Jones. I like Jones a good amount. He's been playing much better football as of late. He gives you consistent volume with his legs. He had his best game as a passer last week. And the Colts, I know their defense is not their weakness, but it also doesn't really completely scare me. Although that being said, if Jalen Hurts plays for the Eagles, I'm playing him in fantasy. I know a lot of people are like, what if he only plays a quarter or a half? And if that report comes out, then sure, I won't start him. But we haven't heard anything of like official on that.
Have not. The last I heard, Nick Sirianni has not committed to who's going to be the starter on Sunday. I would say this. I think Daniel Jones is maybe the safest play, but here's a little wrinkle. Maybe you go pick up both Jones and Gardner Minshew, and just in case Nick Sirianni comes out and says, hey, look, Gardner Minshew's our guy, we're going to rest Jalen Hurts one more week, then that could be a nice plug-in for you this week as well. So I think both Jones and Minshew are in play. Brady is out. Of that group, Brady is out for me.
If the worst was to happen and they were like, we're only going to play Hurts for a half, can you start him then?
Ooh. I think I might take the chance.
My other option in a super flex is Sam Darnold. I think I would roll the dice on Hurts.
I roll the dice on Jalen Hurts over Sam Darnold at this point in the season. Moving on to the next question from that boy, at Deep Voice Nick, who's probably a alto, maybe soprano. I don't know. DeAndre Swift or Tyler Algier in a full point PPR.
Two running backs that I have both listed as a start this week, but I'm going to go with Tyler Algier of the two here. DeAndre Swift's been more up and down. The floor has been lower. Tyler Algier's been getting so much volume each and every week as of late, playing more snaps, getting more carries and targets than Cordero Patterson. He's more explosive, and I like the matchup against the Cardinals, who have really struggled, especially against the run. I think Swift is a good option as well, but I just think Algier, I trust him more.
I trust him more right now, too, and I know that the Falcons are going to want to run the football because that's what they do. The Lions could decide they want to start throwing it around with Jared Goff this week, so that sort of makes me nervous about DeAndre Swift, not to mention the fact that it's turned into a three-headed backfield because Jamal Williams is still there. Justin Jackson is seeing a lot of snaps lately, too, and so that makes me a little bit worried about DeAndre Swift. Next question from Devin. Mike Evans or DJ Moore in the championship?
I'm going with DJ Moore here. Look, Mike Evans, since week 8, I believe it is, his high game is 13 fantasy points. He's only cracked double digits twice. I know DJ Moore doesn't bring the safest floor, but he's had one bad game with Sam Darnold. The other 3 have been very good. Like, he's a wide receiver, too, with upside. And last week, I was freaking out about DJ Moore because he had nothing at halftime. He had one target, and it was a throwaway. But then he had like a 45-yard catch, and the very next play was a touchdown for him. So, like, he can put up points quickly. Mike Evans, you would think, could do the same, but it just hasn't been happening as of late. So give me DJ Moore.
It hasn't worked out. I'm with DJ Moore as well. And I know Tom Brady said recently that he's got to do a better job of trying to get the ball to Mike Evans. And that's a wonderful sentiment, but I don't know if it is fully within his capabilities. Right now, the offensive line is not giving him enough time, that is Brady, to get those throws downfield to Mike Evans. And we saw last week against Arizona when they really did try to throw to him, Brady came up short on a couple of occasions and got picked off. So I just am concerned about Tampa Bay's ability to get the ball to Evans. I think it's why you've seen a lot more Chris Godwin, Cade Otton, those sorts of guys. I think I'd rather go with Moore, and I'd feel a whole lot safer, which didn't think I'd be saying that back in like September or October or anything like that. We got plenty more to talk about on this show. We got some more of your questions coming up after the break. Plus, we got some fun at the end. Chefon Diggs cooking up something a little bit special. Stick around for that here on the Fantasy Q&A Show. It's time for Game Changers presented by Visa. Anyone can change the game. This is the part of the show where we talk about sleepers. So for Week 17, who is your guy?
Curtis Samuel, who it's purely because of the quarterback change with Carson Wentz. He averaged 13 fantasy points per game and 8 targets per game with Carson Wentz. He was the top target for Carson Wentz in every one of his starts. And last week, I think it was 3 of his 5 targets were from Carson Wentz, including, it might have even been 4 of his 5, including the touchdown. So for some reason, Carson Wentz only has eyes for Curtis Samuel. Like, Terry McLaurin's numbers come crashing with Carson Wentz, but Curtis Samuel gets the biggest boost. Again, I'm not telling you to start him over people that got you here and that you start each week. But if you're in a deeper league or injuries or anything like that, Curtis Samuel's a name you could grab off the waiver wire and plug into your lineup.
Very interesting how it is quarterbacks lock in on certain wide receivers. You would think that everybody would just love throwing to Terry McLaurin. Apparently that's not the case. I like Richie James this week, and we have been really spent a lot of this year touting Darius Slayton for good reason, but the last couple of weeks, there have been some other guys popping up. Isaiah Hodgins had the big week a week ago, but Richie James very quietly has been playing well. You see that, the 7 or more receptions in 2 of the last 3 games. He's had 3 touchdowns since week 11. So the Giants are not a high-volume, high-octane sort of passing game, but they are starting to spread the ball around to more guys. By the way, I had to remind myself that Kenny Golladay is still on this roster.
Oh my God, I truly forgot until right now.
I was like, wait a minute, Kenny Galladay's still there, huh? Like he didn't get cut or put on IR. No, he's still there. They just don't really pretend. They just pretend that he doesn't exist. Apparently,
He has not been targeted since week 11.
Good. Richie James, on the other hand, gets lots of targets and is in a big spot in a big game for the Giants this week. Let's get to some more of your questions out there at twitter.com. This one coming up from John, who asks, with Tua and Lamar Jackson possibly being out, any QB replacement suggestions that might still be available?
Yeah, I'm guessing Jared Goff is no longer available because he would be number 1 for me, but some guys who still might be out there in your league. Daniel Jones is one that we like a lot. We talked about him earlier. He's been playing really well, running more. The matchup isn't super scary, and this is a must-win game for the Giants. If they win, they clinch a playoff spot, and they get the Eagles next week. They're going to want to handle business this week. If not, I like Brock Purdy a good amount. He's been playing great as the starter, averaging 18 fantasy points per game, and has a really good matchup. Mike White is another one that I think is in play because he gave us 2 strong performances before that 3rd Bills game where he got hurt. And then we just know that the rest of the Jets players around him also play better when it's anyone but Zach Wilson.
Good to see Miguel Blanco back in effect. I would say all those guys that you mentioned are in play. Another guy that if you are really in dire circumstances and there's not many names left on the waiver wire, Teddy Bridgewater, who obviously is going to step in for Tua this week. Now, understanding that the ceiling isn't particularly high for Bridgewater, but he is good enough to get the ball out to his playmakers. We've seen him get the ball to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. So those guys are very much still in play. So that could potentially help give him a semi-stable floor, but it's going to be tough to replace what you're getting there with Teddy. And I guess if you made it this far with Lamar Jackson, you've figured out ways to sort of survive because it's been a while since we've seen Lamar play an NFL game. Next question from Skip. Who do I sit to make room for Christian Watson? Is it Leonard Fournette, Miles Sanders, or Amari Cooper?
I'm going to go with Amari Cooper here. I definitely think Christian Watson is someone that you play if he suits up. Far too much upside in the best matchup. But Amari Cooper, you see there, he doesn't have a touchdown with Deshaun Watson. He's been very up and down, and that's been the entire Browns offense with Deshaun Watson. Like, every week it's like one player has a solid game with them, and then the others kind of disappoint. So I don't know. I don't think there's enough offensive firepower in this one, but these are all pretty similar options.
They're all similar options. I would maybe try to get away from Leonard Fournette if you could, just because that backfield has become really sticky to try and deal with. Fournette even himself saying he's kind of playing through injury right now. The Bucs have not been able to run the football. And Rachaad White is sort of doing a lot of the same things that Leonard Fournette does. So it's not like he's getting extra target volume because that's his job there. Both these guys kind of the same. On top of it, Carolina's run defense has been really good over the last month to 6 weeks or so. In fact, ever since they fired Matt Rule and put Steve Wilkes in, they've been a lot feistier. I mean, they're still hanging around with a chance to win the NFC South, believe it or not. So Fournette is one that if you could maybe avoid him, that's one I would consider as well. By the way, should note, Watson did not practice on Thursday. We'll see what happens on Friday and if he's going to be good to go. But that's just something to kind of keep in mind, too, when you're setting your lineups. Next one comes from Devin, who asks Cam Akers or David Montgomery in a PPR?
Give me Cam Akers. I know this would have been crazy to say a few weeks ago, but he's averaged 19 fantasy points per game in the last month. You see there in the fantasy playoffs, almost 24 fantasy points per game. That's the RB2. He's coming off of his best game in a very long time. And Marcus, I think you made a really good point earlier in the week that he's just healthier the further and further he gets removed from this surgery. Plus, he's got a better matchup. Like, I know the Lions got ran all over last week, but they had been shutting down running backs but prior to that. And then David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert's back. Justin Fields could run. I don't think Monty's a sit or anything, but I would just take Akers over him.
I like Akers a lot more too, just because, as you mentioned, the matchup against the Chargers is a really tasty one. I don't know that either team is really great throwing the football, but I don't think there's as many guys there to potentially take opportunities away from Cam Akers. So I think he gets most of that work there against a bad Charger run defense. He's the one that I would lean toward in that matchup between those two backs. Up next, we are previewing a Monday Night Football game for the ages. It's huge for the NFL. It's going to be massive for a lot of fantasy leagues as well. We will dive into that, and we'll take a trip around the World Wide Web next as we wrap it up on the Fantasy Q&A show.
Hey Marcus, what's going on?
Oh, hey Albert, how was your Christmas?
It was good, but we'll get to it later. Devontae Adams, should I start him this week?
Yeah, I guess you should.
Keep in mind it's championship, so it's kind of a big deal.
Right. Yeah, start Devontae Adams.
Awesome, thanks. Go set my lineup.
Yeah, my Christmas was great too. Thanks for asking, Albert. People always ask for advice, and usually it's manageable, but now that it's playoff season, it's become a bit much.
Yo, Michael Florio. How you been, dude?
I don't know if being in the bathroom gave it away, but I'm a little busy right now.
Right, yeah, definitely, totally. Look, dude, I got some fantasy questions. I'm playing the Super Bowl this week. How do you feel about Jarrett McKinnon over Travis Etienne Jr.?
People, they just don't stop with the questions.
Yo, man, he in there?
Yeah, big stall in the back.
Great.
Hey, Florio, got something?
Yeah, it's been rough.
Hey, Florio. How you doing? Are you okay? I heard your guinea pig got mono.
Thank you. It's been a little bit of a rough time right now.
Sorry to hear that, man. Sending lots of love to you and Piggy Smalls.
Pig Newton, but thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And while I'm here for you, I do have Jalen Hurts, and I don't know if he's going to play this week, but I have two other options, Trevor Lawrence or Daniel Jones. What are we thinking here? Because this is important.
Oh,
Hey Marcus, can I trust Justin Fields this week?
man, I'm off the clock, getting ready to head home.
So,
Yeah, it's cool.
thank you.
Oh, that was a lot of fun to do. Shout out to Sean Kelly, Drake Baker, everybody who helped.
Yeah, that was so much fun. And the final product, so great.
Oh, it turned out so great. We're so happy with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed championship weekend. And just a reminder, be kind to your local fantasy analyst. Let's look ahead to Monday Night Football, a big game. I know you are going to be keeping a close eye on it. It's the Bills and the Bengals. A lot of fantasy championships, I imagine, are going to come down to that game because there are fantasy stars on both sides. Let's look at the Bills side of things, though. Who's the guy that you're keeping an eye on?
Stephon Diggs, Chefon Diggs, if you will. I know we've been getting questions like, he hasn't been playing well. He only had 2 targets last week. Can I start him? Yes, you're starting Stephon Diggs in what could be the highest scoring game of the weekend. A working theory I've had is that they've kind of taken it easy with him to keep him fresh for this game in the playoffs. Who knows if that's true, but I think in a game of this magnitude where I'm literally calling it the biggest Bills regular season game of my lifetime because the stakes are that high for them. I think that they're going to try to get their best player involved. So I'm starting Stephon Diggs, and I expect a vintage Stephon Diggs game out of him.
I just don't know how you get away from Stephon Diggs at this point in the season, especially in a game, as you mentioned, that means so much. It's been nice to see Dawson Knox come back into our fantasy lives. He was really not much of a factor for most of the season, but it was really picked things up. Touchdowns in 3 straight games, starting to see more looks, and maybe this was part of the plan, starting to get him more involved, find other ways to move the football through the air besides just Stephon Diggs. And at a point where we are probably streaming tight ends, unless you have, say, Travis Kelce or maybe a George Kittle, something like that, Dawson Knox back in play against a defense that has been kind of on the wrong side of things when it comes to defending tight ends this year. So Dawson Knox is definitely a streaming option. On the other side, for the Bengals, who's somebody you're keeping an eye on?
Joe Mixon. And while I said this is a huge game for the Bills, it's equally as big for the Bengals because they're only a game up on the Ravens. They play the Ravens next week. they could get as high as the potentially even the 1 seed if they win out the Bengals. So huge game. Joe Mixon very much so in play. My Mixon teams have gotten eliminated, but what I love is the last 2 weeks they've been throwing him the ball more. 6 targets 2 weeks ago, 9 last week. The Bills have been ran all over as of late. I think running backs have given them a lot of issues in the passing game. If you got this far with Joe Mixon, you have to ride him out in what I, again, think will be a game with a ton of points scored.
So I'm looking at Joe Burrow here, and you're probably starting Joe Burrow, right? Don't overthink this. Is what I said on Fantasy Live a couple days ago. But if you look at it, recently the Bills have not been giving up a lot of fantasy points to quarterbacks, but I think if you dig a little bit deeper, maybe it's a little bit misleading. Yes, they did a great job shutting down Justin Fields last week, but beyond that, they also haven't faced a lot of really tough quarterback matchups. I mean, they got Zach Wilson. They got Tua Tagovailoa after the end of a really rough stretch schedule-wise for the Miami Dolphins. So credit the Bills that they have shut down the guys they've needed to. You can only play who's in front of you. But I also think that when you're facing a quarterback like Joe Burrow and an offense like Cincinnati, I don't know that you worry so much about what the numbers are, and you just kind of trust the players that you have in your lineup. So I don't know that I needed to say a whole lot to encourage you to start Joe Burrow, but if for whatever reason you were on the fence, start Joe Burrow this week.
Burrow's doing a great job lately, too, of like when he is under pressure. Like early in the year, he was just taking sacks. Like his sack rate has gone down dramatically in this winning streak that they're on. Like he's up there for best quarterback in the league, I would say.
He really is. He's become one of the elite quarterbacks in this league, and I think he'll be drafted as such in fantasy next year. Let's get back to some more of your questions. Try to rip through some of these rapid fire. Brady wants to know Chiefs D versus Denver or 49ers D at Vegas?
At the start of the week, I would have said Kansas City, but since the quarterback change in Vegas, give me the Niners.
Absolutely. Niners all day going against Jarrett Stidham this week. Next one from Homer Pyle. Should I bench Josh Jacobs for Miles Sanders?
No, the Eagles have a tough matchup as well. I think I would still play Josh Jacobs.
I'd still start Josh Jacobs. I think the floor is stable. The ceiling comes way
Yes.
down. But I don't know. I feel okay with Josh Jacobs over Miles Sanders. Last one here from Deborah Rolstad. Should I play Taysom Hill over Mark Andrews? She adds, not kidding.
No, I would still play Andrews, but I completely get why this is the question and why you're not kidding. But the Saints get the Eagles. I don't love that matchup at all.
I don't love Taysom Hill this week. I understand your fears about Mark Andrews. I totally get it. But the target share has been there, just hasn't been the production. I would still rock with him and hope for a Dalton Schultz kind of situation this week for Baltimore. Time now to take a trip around the World Wide Web. And we keep referring to Stephon Diggs. And that's because Stephon Diggs tweeted this recently. It started with another night of feeding myself, followed by forced to use the skills I learned when I did 2 years in culinary school, which pretty much sent up a for most of Twitter.
When did he go to culinary
No one
school?
knows that this happened, apparently. And then the last one was this whole cooking for yourself bleep. 0 out of 10. I wouldn't recommend. I'd be damn near too tired to eat after, and then gotta wash the dishes after? Yeah, nah. So that all happened, and then 2 days after Stephon Diggs tweeted all these things, the reports, Mike Giardi, for instance, tweeting Jordan Poyer and Stephon Diggs, parentheses, illness, are among those who won't practice today for the Bills. So here it is. You have Stephon Diggs talking about cooking for himself. 2 days later, he is out of practice with an illness. And, Twitter, as it does, had jokes. Twitter had lots and lots and lots of jokes.
Always.
But Stephon, in his defense, came back and said, LOL, this was funny, but I ain't cooked last night. I mean, it doesn't mean it couldn't have happened 2 days ago, Stephon.
Hey, look, he's the biggest victim of the blizzard in Buffalo because he couldn't order DoorDash or whatever
Right.
he was trying to do. He had to cook for himself, and then he was sick and missed practice. I mean, come on, we need a healthy Stephon Diggs this week.
I mean, you got to wonder now if maybe Bengals fans aren't sending him recipes to try and cook up this weekend to see.
Oof. Don't eat anything in Cincinnati.
Especially the Skyline chili. But that's just a general rule. That's not even about this weekend. That's just in general.
I've
don't
never
eat
tried
Skyline
it,
chili.
but it doesn't sound too appealing.
Not great. Not great. And I'm sure people from Cincinnati will be in my mentions. Don't care. Tried it. Didn't love it. Maybe next time I'll try it with the French fries because with the spaghetti, it just was bleh. watery and ungood. What is not ungood, though, has been this show, and we appreciate everybody who has been hanging around and watching the show and interacting with us all year long. Appreciate the specialists because they're the ones who do the hard work to make this thing happen. We just sit here behind microphones and we just jabber for 20 to 30 minutes. So we love all of you who are involved. We love all of you who are watching. And Florio, I know we're not done. I know we still have a show. We've got Fantasy Live. We got a show on Sunday. But appreciate you hanging out here too as well.
I appreciate you, the specialists, everyone who watches, who reads any of our content, because I mean, without any of you, everyone behind the scenes, the viewer, everything, none of this is possible for us.
Absolutely none of this is possible. But for the meantime, we are done with the Fantasy Q&A show for this season. Be sure to check us out, of course, on Sunday on Fantasy Game Day. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy Week 17. Happy New Year to everybody. We'll talk to you again real soon.